Hey, whenever you get a new rank, whether it's master sergeant or first sergeant or sergeant major, that rank doesn't belong to you, right? It just gives you a lot more power to be able to go debate and fight for your guys. If you're that guy trying to lead a team and you got to do a line of coke before you do anything and your guys see it, they're going to be like, what the, like, why am I following this dude? So I've had the opportunity to be on teams. I've had the opportunity to be removed from Special Forces teams. I've had the opportunity to be on good Special Forces teams. I've also had the opportunity to be on bad Special Forces teams. I had the chance to build a Special Forces team as a team sergeant, and I've had the opportunity to manage a variety of different committees or different teams as a first sergeant. Today, I want to share with you 10 ways to lose exceptional Special Forces talents within a Special Forces ODA. If this is your first time watching me, guys, my name is Jay. I'm a retired U.S. Army Green Beret, and the intent behind this channel is to share knowledge and wisdom with the next generation. So if you haven't done so already, like and subscribe to help me reach that goal. All right. With that said, guys, let's jump right into this list. Guys, number 10 as far as the best way to lose Special Forces talent within your team, and by this I mean guys that are talented, that are meant for greatness, is going to be not letting your Special Forces guys make mistakes. When I had my team, guys, I was a firm believer in guys go out and figure it out, see what works, see what doesn't, and then learn from it, re-engage, in hopes of not only bettering yourself, but also the team. When as a team sergeant or as a team leader, you don't allow your guys to make mistakes, all you're doing is putting their ingenuity, putting their outside the box thinking within a box. You're not letting them grow. And that's also a sign of micromanagement. And Special Forces guys don't like to be micromanaged. If you're that leader, those guys that are under you that want to, spread their wings and fly and try new things and make their mistakes and figure it out, are gonna want to leave because you're not allowing them or you're not affording them that opportunity. Number 9, as far as the best way to lose Special Forces talent off your Special Forces team, is if you as a leader don't have a vision for where you want the team to go. Because a vision does a couple of different things, right? It gives everybody purpose. It lets everybody knows what the intent or what the end state is. And they'll know that everything that you tell them to do is towards that end state. If you don't have a vision and everyone just shows up to work every day, just lollygagging with no purpose, with no direction, your highly motivated guys are going to want to go to the other team because they see the other team getting after it every single day towards a purpose, and their team is just sitting around bullshitting in the team room drinking beer. Like when I had my ODA, my intent was to build it into the best shooting team in the company. So everything that we did was towards that end state. Every time we went to the range, every time we, sat around the team room, guys were looking at manuals, guys were looking at different drills. My Bravos were doing whatever they needed to do, right? It was all towards that end state, right? But the captain and I, we made that vision clear. Hey, this is what we want to achieve. And the guys understood it and they got behind it. And we ended up achieving that end state because everybody bought into it. All right. So if you want to keep the talent from leaving, you got to have a good vision for your ODA. Number 8, as far as ways you can lose talent off your team, is not by setting the example ethically and morally. All right. So as a leader, as the team sergeant of that team, I always preach that I was the heavyweight champion of that team room. I was Mike Tyson, right? Everything that I said and did, the guys saw and they emulated. If I was a dirtbag, they were dirtbags. If I was an upstanding dude, they grew up to be outstanding dudes, right? However, if you're a dirtbag and you have that one dude in your team that doesn't believe in that, or that has very, very strong, non-negotiables as far as morals and ethics, and he's your fucking best soldier and he sees you doing all this dumb stuff, he's going to leave, right? Because that doesn't align with what he thinks is right as far as what a leader should be, know, and do, right? So if you're that guy trying to lead a team and you got to do a line of coke before you do anything and your guys see it, they're going to be like, what the, like, why am I following this dude? Right? And eventually animosity is going to build and they're just going to leave. So that's number 8, guys. Number 7, as far as things that will lead to talent leaving your special forces team, is not being predictable. All right. As a leader of a special forces ODA, of a bunch of A-type guys, they have to know where you stand. They have to know what's coming next, right? They can't just have you, bipolar or sporadic. 1 minute you're low energy, the next minute you're high energy, you're cussing, you're fussing. Like, they got to know that their leader is sound. They got to know that you're always in the sound mind to make decisions, because your decision ultimately can cause life or death. So if you're not predictable stateside, you damn sure won't be predictable on the battlefield. And that within itself is a recipe for guys to leave and go to another team, because they want to know, hey, when Master So and such says flank that mountain, he's in sound mind. He knows what he's talking about. Even though I, as a junior Bravo, don't think that we should flank that mountain, I know that my leader is sound and he's solid and he has a reason for telling me to do that. But that all comes through being predictable. You got to show a pattern of doing the right things along the way, to where when you get to the point where it matters, guys are going to listen. Another way that you can lose talented individuals off your team is by not caring. All right. I'm a firm believer in taking care of soldiers. Everything that I've done throughout my career has always revolved around taking care of all the individuals that work for me. I have a saying that says, hey, whenever you get a new rank, whether it's Master Sergeant or First Sergeant or Sergeant Major, that rank doesn't belong to you, right? It just gives you a lot more power to be able to go debate and fight for your guys. Same thing with officers, right? Whenever you get that reef, that star, whatever, it just gives you a lot more power to go negotiate on the behalf of your soldiers. Those that think that rank is for them, they're the ones that become shitty leaders, because they become self-serving. They're serving themselves as opposed to serving the individuals that are under them, right? So if you want to lose talent off your special forces team, make it all about yourself and don't take care of the guys that are under you. Guys, another way that I've seen a lot of special forces guys leave teams is because their leaders never admitted their faults. Like, I'm a big fan of accountability. When I had my team, guys, and I fucked up, I was always the first to say, you know what? I fucked up. I need to go elsewhere. Probably the biggest event that I've had in my SF career was when I had that ND on the range. And I knew if it was any one of my guys, these were the punishments that I was going to impose on them. So when it took place, even though I was in a position of power, I was the leader, I had already set that standard. And I took it upon myself to punish myself for what I did. And I did just that, right? And I got more respect from my dudes for it. So as a leader, you have to be able to issue punishments. But if you're the ones fucking up, you have to be able to punish yourself. You can't be one of those leaders that's like, hey, do as I say, not as I do, right? That shit doesn't fly on the special forces team. And if it does, guys are going to lose respect for you, and eventually they're going to leave. Another reason why guys will leave a special forces team is because when they do awesome things, they don't get the credit. I've seen this throughout my years in special operations where the team leader or the leadership, they take credit for what the guys are doing. You know, be like, yeah, we kicked this, or we did this, we were awesome, blah, 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 as opposed to saying, hey, Sergeant Major, like, my junior Bravo, he did awesome. He really fucking did an awesome job. He kick ass. Right? Oh, hey, my junior Echo really did that comms plan. He knocked it out the park. And he's the reason why this team is successful. Right? Getting in the habit of praising your subordinates and letting them know, hey, Junior Bravo, so Major said you fucking did an awesome job out there. You really rocked it, right? Giving them praise and making sure that they know that their efforts are not going unnoticed. That's a good way to keep them on your team. If you do the opposite, guys, they will leave. So along the same lines, you have to be able to give credit, but another thing that you have to be able to do is to fire individuals within your team when they're messing up, right? I'm a big second chance guy, right? But with me, there is no third chances. I'll let guys know, hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z. They can't figure it out. I'll give them some additional mentorship. They keep messing up. They're gone, right? You got to be able to do that as a leader. And I know within the regiment, there's a lot of, a good old boy system where, me and this Junior Bravo, we came up together and now we're on the same team and now I'm the team sergeant, but he's my homeboy. He's fucking up. And I just can't bring it to myself to fire him. Right? If you're that dude, just know that everyone else within that team is watching what you're doing and they're going to use it against you, because when they step out of line and you try to drop the hammer on them, they're going to come back with, hold on, wait a minute. Whenever your buddy, the Junior Bravo, was fucking up, you didn't fire him. So why are you trying to fire me? It's just going to cause you to lose face and lose your ability to lead that team. So if someone's messing up within your team and you give them a warning and they blow you off, you got to have the balls to fire them. Because if you don't, everyone else is going to see it and they're going to start leaving because you're not being a fair leader. Another way to lose guys off your team is by breaking your promises to them. I've seen this done also, guys. I've seen guys go down range, do an awesome job, and their leaders promise them, hey, whenever you get back, I'm going to send you to sniper school. I'm going to send you to Halo. I'm going to send you to Sephardic. Just for those guys to get back and for the leader to pull the rug right off from under them. All right. So what that does is it shows that subordinate that you as a leader aren't true to your word. You're not a man of your word. And that within itself builds animosity, and that's going to leave that guy to leaving your team because you're not holding your promises that you made to them, right? So don't be that leader. Another one that I've seen happen throughout my years in special operation is guys are leaving teams because the leaders have established a pattern of substandards, all right, or low standards. You got to understand, special forces operators, we graduate the Q course and we're trying to get to a group. We're expected to be challenged. We want to operate at the highest level. But as a leader, if you take a team and you don't have any standards, you show up to work looking like a bag of dicks, you're fat, you're out of shape, you can't run, you can't lead, guys are going to leave because that's not what they're expecting. They want somebody that's going to challenge them, that's going to be the standard. And if you're not that guy, why should they follow you? Right? So that's another reason why I've seen guys leave Special Forces ODAs, right? Last but not least, guys, the number one reason I would say that guys leave special operation teams is because they're restricted. The leader has a way of keeping them in a box. And more often than none, that's done because the leader doesn't want to showcase that he doesn't know enough, right? Because he's the senior enlisted advisor. He's the officer, right? So they keep their guys in a box to where the two of them are always the smartest one in the room. And if you try to do that to a special forces guy, he's going to leave because he's like, yo, I want to be part of something. I want to contribute. And if you're not allowing me to do that, then why am I here? As a leader, you got to understand that you don't need to know everything. You just need to surround yourself with the guys and let them go to work, right? As a team sergeant, dude, I had 10 other guys. Like, I don't need to know everything. I just need to be able to manage it, right? I need my 18 Bravo to be small on weapons. I need my 18 Charlie to know everything about demo, right? I don't need to know that shit. I just need to know when to employ them. And if you try to keep your guys in a box because you always want to be the smartest guy in the room, they're going to end up leaving because they're going to feel undervalued. They're not going to feel appreciated, and they're going to go somewhere else, guys. Hopefully this list was helpful, guys. Let me know in the comment section below, guys, what you guys have seen as far as stuff that's caused Special Forces operators to leave Special Forces ODAs, right? Eager to hear from you guys. Until next time, take care of yourselves.